Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay.
Hello.
He's got a bad back, so he needs to lie on the floor.
So this is obviously not a full body shot.
No. Although
it should be.
It should be, yeah.
No.
Okay. Right. Okay.
All right.
Okay. A lot of people will ask David, why are you playing a venue like Rock City in Nottingham, which is, has to be said is pretty small?
Well, I also did the same thing with Tin Machine. We also played a similar... I think there's a kind of music when it starts to become non-commercial oriented, which in my case, nearly all my life has been like that. But it's fundamentally about what I'm doing right now. And it's much easier to keep the attention of a smaller crowd on more difficult pieces of material than it is. We've also been playing festivals this year as well. We did 25 festivals, which is a lot of work in front of a lot of big crowds. And when you're working that big, you have to play a simpler kind of music, frankly, because you've got to keep a lot of people aware of what you're doing. And to get a little more experimental, it's much easier to keep the crowd smaller. So that's what we're doing.
You don't have to do it though, do you? I mean, you don't have to play.
I do have to. That's the point. I have to perform. It's what my whole being cries out to work. I like the music that I'm making, and I must perform it. So you perform it. You know, you don't. It's a lifeblood. When you're an artist of any kind, I think it's like it's more than an addiction. It really becomes I can't help writing. I have to write. It's like breathing out and breathing in. It's just something that one does, you know. I wouldn't know what life was like if I didn't write music.
You must be very satisfied that you've carried younger audiences as well throughout your career.
My choice when I was a kid was either to be a musician or a painter, and I opted for being a musician. But I have the same degree of obsession about what I do as I have about the visual arts. So it just becomes an accompaniment to my life, working and playing.
But most pop stars don't feel the need to carry on like you do they? They sort of stop and they carry on playing the back catalogues for forever and ever.
Again, it's a question of why do you do what you do? I don't see an end to it. I don't see it as like we get to a certain point and then I can stop. You know, it's something. It's just as I say, it's a river that I'm on. You know, it's the course that I've taken in life, and I don't foresee anything that would really stop me. You know,
because some people like Paul Weller have slagged some of the older generation off for carrying on, haven't they, and said that they don't want to be doing the same thing when they're that age.
That's his business, and that's his way of dealing with life, and I'm
so
disinterested.
You're pressing the pause button and then just playing again when you feel like it?
I'm sorry?
You're going to press the pause button occasionally and then play when you feel like it?
I don't think I've ever been on pause, actually. I wouldn't know what that's like. I seem to be a kind of I just generate all the time. I write, or I'm recording, or I'm performing. There's really not a moment that I'm not doing what I do with relish and total commitment, excitement. You've
carried a few fans all along the way. You must be pleased to see some of the older faces that are outside the doors here tonight.
Yeah, well, it's terrific. I mean, that they've got a lot of stamina to keep up with me, I must say.
Because you've had a slagging off, haven't you, for the music you're doing at the moment?
It depends who you ask, I think.
It depends what you read, I suppose.
Sorry?
It depends which paper you read.
I would imagine so. I think you have to judge it yourself, though.
Does that put you...
I like it very much into... Oh, listen, I've had it for 30 years. I mean, it's not going to start bothering me now. I know my worth. I know my contribution to music. And I know what my own contemporaries and my peers think of my work. And that, for me, is nourishment enough in terms of, you know, what people think of your work. I find it very flattering when I get compliments from the Chemical Brothers or Goldie or people in a different, you know, genre from the one that I'm immediately in. I take that as really very nice and highly complimentary. And that means a lot to me, you know.
This sold out within hours. A lot of people are disappointed around here because they didn't get to see you. Are you going to do gigs like this again?
Well, I've always, as I say, I've always done them. You know, it's something that's been... and with this band, we started a pattern in America last year when we were writing the Earthling album. We started going out and doing clubs. At that time, to keep generating the excitement that we felt about the direction we were going in. And I find it very stimulating to work in smaller places. It gives you a certain kind of freedom that you don't get in the bigger venues that we finished doing for this summer. Although we're going to the States now, in 3 weeks' time, we'll be starting again all over there.
I read somewhere that you were going to sort of have a break and start a family.
Well, it doesn't need much of a break, does it? Just a couple of hours. Sorry.
Okay.
In my case, of course, all night long. But,
Okay, thanks very much indeed.
my pleasure.
Cheers.
Sorry, I couldn't resist that. I can start.